Hello guys, in today's video I'll quickly go over how to set up the Amplify CLI on your local machine. I will be using a Mac computer, but just note the same steps can be followed for a Windows computer. The first thing that we need to do before going any further is to make sure that we have both Node.js and NPM, which is a package manager for Node, installed on our machine. You can quickly check whether you have either of those installed by running node v and npm-v. The response for that should be a numerical value, which is just going to tell you the version of the package that you're running. If you do not have this, or if you get an error that basically says command not found, then you do not have Node installed, and you can install Node by going to the Node.js website, picking whichever machine you're using, or Windows or Mac, and install it. And once you install Node.js, npm should also be included with the install. Once you've done that, the next step, the same steps that you will follow via the Amplify documentation, is to now install Amplify CLI. The easiest way to go about it is to just use npm. That's why there's a prerequisite for that. Or you can also just use curl to also install that library. So we're gonna go ahead and just do npm copy. Just come in here and just type in npm install. If you want to install it globally for the whole machine, just add the G flag and then at aws-amplify/CLI. We'll go ahead and run that, and we'll go ahead and install. Once we're done running that npm install command, we can verify that we have it successfully installed by running amplify and checking the version. And we see that we have version 6, which I believe at this time is the latest version of Amplify, running on our machine. Otherwise, we would get some errors along the lines of command not found. Once we've done that, the next step is to configure the CLI, and we will just run amplify configure just like in the documentation. And then it will ask us to log into our AWS account. We'll pick the region, the default region that we want to log into. US East 1 is most common. You can use any other region, however. In this case, I'll go with US West 2. And then we also want to specify the IAM user that's created to run the CLI commands on our machine. In this case, you can leave the default. However, I want to use a more meaningful name. So I will type in amplify-CLI-US West 2, and instead of dashes I'll actually just do underscore. So amplify-CLI_US West 2. Hit enter, and once it does that, it will bring up our login screen, which I have open on a different window. So let me go ahead and log in there real quick. Alright, so once we're signed in, I will go ahead and share this window on this page. It will show us a screen where we add a new user to our AWS account. In this case, the username is the same name that we passed in the CLI here. And in our case, we want to get access keys instead of a password, since we will not be using this user to log into the console, but instead using it programmatically with the CLI. So we'll set it to access key. Next, we'll set the permissions. You can either do administrator access, or if you would like, you can lock down certain keys. But since we're using this in a CLI to run different AWS services, such as CloudFormation to deploy, you want to just keep it on administrator access. Next, you can specify any tags you would like. And then once everything looks good, we can create that user. Once you have that access key ID and secret access key, we come back to our screen, hit enter. We will then copy this access key ID, hit enter, and then the secret access key, hit enter, and then we can create a profile for this. So in this case, I will just say Amplify CLI tutorial. Once we have this user set up, in the future when we're running Amplify commands, then we can just specify that profile name instead of having to manually put in the access keys each time. You've successfully set up Amplify CLI. I'll be making a few more videos regarding how to create project with Amplify, so keep a lookout for that.